The Philadelphia Eagles have announced today that they cut ties with defensive end Jason Babin. Apparently this was strictly a roster move, which was done in order to get the new guys more playing time. Bring someone up from the practice squad and bring the second string up to the first string. If anyone's been around Jason Babin, they know that he's not a troublemaker. He's not a team obliterator. So I don't think there's anything going on underneath behind the scenes that we don't know about. I just think that the amount of money he was making is too much for someone who's going to be sitting on the bench watching rookies play football. As far as the wide nine that Babin played in over the last few years, I don't think it helped him or the Eagles. Yes, he got a lot of sacks last year, but it didn't help the Eagles get better than an 8-8 record. And if you look at the way Trent Cole and Jason Babin line up in that kind of 4-point stance where they're looking in at the ball, let's face it, it looks ridiculous, and I don't get a confident feeling. And the reason being is when something works in the NFL, this is a copycat league. Other teams would be doing it if it really had a good chance of succeeding. Now, as far as Washburn, I can't really judge him because he wasn't the defensive coordinator. When you're doing something that far out of the box, with his wide nine, you've got to have a whole defense which is predicated around that unique style. And you had different defensive coordinators, and then you had a whole separate defensive coordinator with Washburn as the line coach. So I think there'll be more cohesion with the defense and less big blown coverages as we saw last night in the future, meaning next year. As far as Asamoah, that's who I would like to see cut, but unfortunately the salary cap is structured in a way where if you cut Asamoah, you wouldn't save the money on the cap. What would happen was all the prorated money would be not prorated anymore. It would all come to this year, and they'd have to cut other good players and really start completely over. Now, is starting completely over the worst thing? No, but you need money to sign high draft picks as well. Don't forget that. The defense was horrible. It could only get better next year. We've yet to see enough from Nick Foles to inspire confidence at quarterback. I don't think there's a lot of great quarterbacks in the draft. But this Jason Babin move is signifying that the Eagles are moving on. I myself am a huge Andy Reid fan, and I'll be forever grateful, but I could see the writing on the wall. I take a little solace in that he may have partially earned his firing when he fired Juan Castillo. I thought that was a move of desperation because they were playing very well, and they just kept blowing it in the fourth quarter. I think that's more on the players than the coach. But now they don't know what they're doing, and they're scored on for 4 quarters a game, and the Eagles have no chance, especially with a rookie quarterback. So going into the next year, we're going to have a brand new coach. Obviously, Jason Babin won't be part of that mix, which tells me Jim Washburn and obviously the rest of the defensive coaches will be out of here too. They're going to clean house. That's what this is telling me. So I'd like to thank Jason Babin for a hell of an effort for the 2 years he gave us as a Philadelphia Eagle. It's not his fault. He was just part of a system which collapsed. So there you go. Philadelphia Eagles cut tie with defensive end Jason Babin.